Hi again, ladies and gentlemen. Coming back to my story, I'm doing the year 2015 now. Still a fair bit to get through. Okay, just before I go on with 2015, I wanted to say that what the system has also done is when I went to sell my caravan at the beginning of 2014, I now realized that the lady ripped me off for my caravan. They had all orchestrated for me to go there where she was doing her business quarters, somewhere up next to Maidavale. And she was waiting for me to get there. So she had planned how she was going to deal with me already. They had planned to get my caravan off me. And I owed her some rent. So at the end of the day, she was so nice and so... she handled me really well. And now I know that she was orchestrated to deal with me in a certain way because she's been picking on me. They know my character and my nature. So people were telling her how to handle me, and she ended up getting my caravan for $1,600. That's my caravan in Belvedere Caravan Park in Mandurah. You know what I'm saying? It was worth at least $4,000. But I felt guilty because I still owed her some money for rent. And she manipulated me. She manipulated my vulnerability when I went there because I was already feeling bad. And she hustled me. For $1,600 she got that caravan of mine. So they ripped me off with my caravan as well. This was all orchestrated by the system. And the people that have been following me around. So not only my jobs, my houses, my cars, my kids, my friends, my family. They've also ripped me off for my caravan as well. You know what I'm saying? And my high-paying jobs, everything. They just been keep on ripping me off. This is only the end of 2014. I only found this all out in 2017. And about my leg I was telling you in the last story, they had all planned to fuck my leg up, my hip, because they say I'm a rapist and a pedophile. Just another story. When I went to South Africa the first time in 2012, there was a young white South African guy and a young girl. I was taking photos. I was at a spot with my dad, Connie, and my brother. And I was taking photos, and he walked in front of me with crutches. And there was a young girl with him. And he turned around and he said to me, "Hey mate, are you taking photos of us?" And I said, No, I'm not taking photos of you. They were orchestrated to be there to see if I take photos of them. They walked straight in front of my field of vision with my camera. And they fucking bullied me. They were orchestrated to be there. And you know what the funny part is? He had a leg in plaster, mate. And he was on crutches. This is what the system done to me. I'm almost here at the story now where my hip is fucked. This is what the system had planned for me back in 2012 or 2011 before I went to South Africa. They put that lighty in front of me with crutches and a bung leg and a young girl. It's all metaphorical. Young girls, this guy with his bung leg, they were fucking my leg up this whole time. And now in the beginning of 2015, I'm getting to this leg story. So now my leg is stuffed from the last job, a lot of walking. They were putting me on these jobs with span of walking. And my leg was sore and they knew this. And this last job, okay, I'll leave that for now. This last job, beginning of 2015, I went to the doctors down here in, what is it? Kennington, yeah? No, down here in Bentley. Bentley Medical Center, next to Bentley Medical Center. Dr. Kuba used to work there. Now, Dr. Kuba, I went to see him this day. This is about January or so, because my leg is sore now. Now I need certificates because I can't go to Graf or whatever, and my leg's feeling sore. So I went to see Dr. Kuba. Dr. Kuba says to me, he sent me for x-rays and UT, ultrasonic scan or something for my hip. Now I go into the doctor's office. Dr. Kuba sits me down. And then he says to me, "Hey, this is an emergency, mate. You need to go to the hospital right now." Now, he was fucking bullying me. He was being a smart ass. Because people have been watching me in my room, and the police and the fucking Salvation Army and all that in the government system have been following me around and listening to me. So now Dr. Kuba's fucking bullying me. He says to me, mate, this is an emergency. You've got to go to the hospital now. And I was just there as normal, you know. My leg is sore, but I don't feel it's an emergency. I've got to go to the hospital. He said, you've got avascular necrosis. And I said to him, oh, well, can I go tomorrow? Because I'm feeling quite fine. As far as I'm concerned, I'll just be walking around with a sore hip. He said, yeah, no worries. You know what I mean? So it wasn't an emergency. He was just bullying me and being a smart prick. This was Dr. Kuba from this medical center down here. So now he's diagnosed me with avascular necrosis. It's bullshit. I found out in 2017. They fucked my hip up on purpose because of what they say I am. Anyway, I'll carry on with the story. My neighbor from 2 doors down by my mum's house up here, Ken, he was a drug dealer. Everybody knew that. The guy from Homeswest knew he's dealing drugs. Everybody in those flats knew he's dealing drugs. Now, I still owed him a little bit of money, not much. And then I went... Now, I went with him and with Ken to his sister's house up in Joondalup. She was also selling drugs. She also lives in a Homeswest house. Up in Joondalup. So I went there because he was going to score to sell drugs. So he needed a lift, so I gave him a lift. And she had a dingo dog there and all this and that. And she said something to me. She said, she was talking about some other girl. And she said, she was talking about this other girl and this other girl's baby, you know. And she was talking about this other girl being on drugs and not looking after her baby. And she'd done this to me. She went, fucking get the baby a bottle, you know. Fuck. And I thought it was quite comical at the time. I'm going to talk slower, folks, because I was a little bit hyped up from that story before. And then I thought to myself it was funny at the time, and now I realize she was doing what I do, my expressions. And where has she seen me do these expressions? She's been watching me as well, while I've been exploited. You know what I'm saying? Now I realize she was just doing stuff to entertain me. And I realized that she was acting like me. That's what everybody does now. They act like me to shut me down and shut me out. People are mimicking me. So she was watching, and she was watching me from somewhere while I'm being exploited. And she was orchestrated by the system to act like that, to act like me, to me. So now I got on CENTRELINK. Let's see. Now I went to get on CENTRELINK. Now I got onto CENTRELINK, and I asked Baden and Salise if I could, you know, sign a rent certificate saying I'm staying at their place to pay rent. And I'm paying rent so I can get rent assistance, you know, on my pay. So I got the papers signed and this and that and everything, and I went and gave it to CENTRELINK. But this never happened. I never got rent assistance from CENTRELINK. So I just left it because I was trying to get extra money that I shouldn't have been getting. So I didn't say nothing. And now I realize that I didn't get that money because everybody fucking knew my situation. My brother and then my mother. The government, CENTRELINK, knew my situation. They weren't paying me money. And I had all the papers signed. CENTRELINK knew my situation. How the hell do they know my situation? I'm being exploited and they're watching me. Everybody, every government organization knows about me and my situation. And they sneakily taking from me. They're taking everything from me. Why are they taking from me? Because they say I'm a rapist and a pedophile and I'm a piece of shit. Because of Hailey, my ex-missus, and this and that. Charlene. You know what I'm saying? All the women in the system are bullying me. They say I'm a piece of shit. CENTRELINK was bullying me. So I didn't get paid rent assistance, and I couldn't inquire about it because I was trying to get extra money I shouldn't, like I said. And what also happened, My specialist, Dr. Kurt Gebauer, I got him to backdate my specialist certificate saying that I have avascular necrosis to December, around about the last time I worked. So he signed his specialist certificates for me. Now this is a dermatology specialist, well known in Perth. He signed my certificates to get back pay from CENTRELINK. I went to CENTRELINK and they still wouldn't pay me from the last time I worked. And this is legit. My leg was stuffed from the last time I worked and everybody knew it. The system knew it. They're the ones who stuffed up my leg. And I got my specialist to sign my certificates and CENTRELINK still didn't pay me back pay. They didn't give me rent assistance and they didn't pay me back pay. They know about my situation and they fucking me over. And no one say nothing. They taking from me. You know what I'm saying? They're not giving me what they should. Why? I never done nothing. My leg is stuffed and now I need some money. I got to go on the dole. But they the ones who stuffed my leg. Because of what they say I am. And they're doing it outside of the law. So I still couldn't get back pay from December with specialist certificates, bro. I saw Craig there for the last time at Garret Road spot. That's where I used to pick up some gear off him. And he was driving in a Commodore one time, looked like a cop's car or something. But anyway, I got off him the last time, I think, at that spot. It says 2015. Now, Bronwyn died that year. Bronwyn died that year. I told you all about that Bronwyn story. And Royden, how he sent me those dirty pictures, and Bronwyn, that they had orchestrated to do. Now, I didn't know how much I had to do with Bronwyn's death, or how people blame me for having something to do with Bronwyn's death. I wish I could have spoken to Bronwyn. I'm sure I could have helped her maintain a different frame of mind in some kind of way. Because when you think of what the system was doing to me, how big this is. I'm an accused rapist, pedophile, pervert, criminal, armed robber, junkie, and all these things. And people are taking from my work. My work is bullying me. These are companies bullying me. All my work colleagues are bullying me. From 2011, since me and Haley's situation. These are just some of the people that are bullying me. Transfield, Catherine Lawrence from Mediation, Sarah Cheeseman from Global Resources, Jeanette Battersby from Transfield, Cassie from Flex Force, Shani Balsa from Toll People, Charles McGregor from One Key Resources. One Key Resources were related to me, trying to open the lock at FMG in the room. Karen Sheridan from PGC Resources, Kylie Peters from SAS Site Services, Amy Houston from Transfield. With my separation certificate, when I was trying to get the dole, she wouldn't fucking give me my separation certificate and they made it hard for me. And now I realize it was all a game. They were playing with me and bullying me. They were making my life harder on purpose because they were just bullying me, because they're calling me something I'm not. Teresa Arps from TIS Recruitment, Penny Tibbles from TIS, Teresa at Total Group for my police clearance, Kiara Boskoff from Global Resources, Tara Coyle from Downers, Morgan Fuller from Downers. This place I tried to get my daughter's passport rejected. The fucking hotmail name is PetAsO at DFAT. I don't want to get too deep, but this is people taking the piss out of me. PetAsO at dfat.gov.au. These are just some of the people bullying me, right? The police are bullying me. The mental health system, the health system. All of these people are my work colleagues. Now this is a big fucking deal. It's happening behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? And now Bronwyn Myles and me had that situation, right? You know what I'm saying? So imagine how Bronwyn felt when, I'm not exactly sure what went on. Now, imagine how Bronwyn felt when people found out that me and her were together one night, but we didn't sleep together, right? Imagine how she felt then. Imagine how people, or what she felt like, because people would have said, well, you fucked Byron back in the day as well, and then you were going to fuck Byron. You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine? Now, people are bullying me so badly because of Hayley Myles, right? Now, Hayley Myles had a history with my grandfather, Papa Russell. She accused him of fiddling with her or whatever the hell it was. I can't be exactly sure. I don't want to tell the story because I don't want to discredit the story. So me and Hayley, so I'm getting bullied like this and fucking my life fucked up majorly with the system behind closed doors outside of the law, right? And Hayley's got a history with my grandfather. And people are accusing me of being a rapist for my ex-missus, for Charlene, and for Hayley, right? This is a fucking huge story. Imagine how Bronwyn felt when she had to say, well, I fucked Byron back in the day, and Baden was there one night and we almost fucked. Can you imagine how she would have felt? I only realized this a couple of months ago, how she would have felt. I fucking can tell you how she felt. She's dead now. You know what I'm saying? She's dead now. She killed herself. So how much did all this have to do with her? A bloody lot, I'm sure. How she would have felt. I was going to a funeral on the day. And you know what happened? The traffic was full because people were stopping me from going to a funeral. And I was going and the traffic was too full and it was too late, so I came back home. I went to Uncle Herman's house later that night, and that's where they fucking Nolan that was bullying me. I'm at a funeral to mourn the loss of my fucking cousin, and this motherfucker's bullying me. This is the frame of mind they in, bro. Like I've done something wrong. I haven't even done anything wrong. Nobody's even asked me to explain myself. You know what I'm saying? And then she sent those photos and dirty videos of herself and Royden to me. Or Royden sent them to me. You know what I'm saying? Did she know about those photos? I'm sure she did because she's in them. I think they done it deliberately to bully me about Hayley. Because I told you how much connotations were in that video about drugging people, sleeping with them while they're sleeping, and perving on them. There's a lot of connotations in that video that Royden sent me. I've got them here if anybody's interested. Because in 2012, Alex, Wayne, and this other girl was there at Bronwyn's house in Cannington. And they were fucking bullying me from then when Bronwyn said to me, "Cuz, have you ever been to jail?" And she took me to the room and there was a other friend there. And they were walking around strange. I got it written down somewhere because that night was strange. Now I know they were bullying me. And you know what we had on the table? We had a deck of cards, Uno. I went to Salisa's house last year and me and the lights were playing Uno. People have been playing situations in my life metaphorically. They had a deck of cards saying Uno because they wanted to say, I know that you know what you're here for. And that's why Bronwyn asked me those questions. Have I ever been to jail before? And she was telling me about Hayley zoning in and out. I didn't catch on at the time. She was accusing me of fucking raping Hayley. And she was accusing me of taking advantage of her. Have I been to jail before? And Hayley zones in and out. Bronwyn was bullying me about fucking raping Hayley, calling me a rapist pretty much. I only realized that this year. In the last year, I figured it all out. They bullied me on Facebook. Alex Turkin was there with his camera. I remember I was sitting across the table and he was busy with his camera like this. It always sticks in my mind. And with everything that's going on in my life, I realize now what they were doing. They were fucking bullying me. And with that situation in Mandurah, when I was just sitting there playing with the music, Bronwyn came from that side of the couch and she came and she was practically sitting on my lap. And then we started kissing and all this crap, bro. You know what I'm saying? I've never told anyone the story because me and Bronwyn had a relationship, a great relationship as cousins after that. We used to hang out at the pub and this and that and go places. So it was fuck all that happened. But can you imagine how people treated her when they found out about me and Byron? But everybody's accusing me of being a rapist for Hayley and my ex-wife. My grandfather, my grandfather, Hayley's grandfather, fiddling with her and this and that. You know what I'm saying? This is big in Daubers, that would have been playing on her mind. And when I saw Auntie Alma that night, Auntie Alma said this to me. They found her like this with her hands around her neck. Her hands are like this. Now, I used to do this. Just joking around. In my room or in the house, I used to go like this. Like angels flying around. And it sticks in my mind. I'm like, Auntie Alma said that's how Bronwyn was. Like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's obviously got something to do with me. They're looking at me as well. They're looking at me as well. Because everybody seems to know my bloody business. And they all acting like me. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, logically, when I think of it, if you're going to hang yourself, this doesn't make any sense at all. Your hands are not going to stay up there. Unless they're stuck in a rope or something. You know what I'm saying? I'm just getting logical. I'm not trying to be a cunt. But anyway. So that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? When Bronwyn died. So how much I had to do with her death? Could I have helped prevent it? Did everybody bully her for what happened with us and Byron and this and that and what was going on with Haley? You know what I'm saying? Because it's not right. It deserves special attention to be handled properly. And she could have done with a fucking real man in her life instead of a fucking cunt like Royden. You know what I mean? I'm pissed off at the fact that he done shit like that with her. I can't do nothing to him. Or I don't want to make it my business because they done it together. So it's got nothing to do with me. They were both bullying me. You know what I'm saying? But I wish for Bronwyn that she had a real man in her life. Not fucking him. Anyway. So that's the Bronwyn story when she died.